This next story makes me really angry to think about, to be honest, because this kid, though, I was working, back in the day. I was working. I think I was assistant manager at the time. And, of course, we do trade-ins, We do trade-ins, and a little bit of a disclaimer. When I'm doing a trade-in, I'm the one that decides to take the trade-in, and I'm also the one that gives you money for said trade-in. So keep that in mind moving forward. I have this kid come in. He's a teenager, probably 16. He comes in with a 360, like a box, like the 360 Elite Edition or whatever they called it back in the day, and brought it in, and it was a black box, and he hands it to me, and I'm like, oh, cool, you have a 360 to trade in. And immediately, and I mean immediately, this kid, now he's a teenager, he's immediately like an asshole and snotty, and I don't know why. He's like, yeah, obviously. He says something like that. And I'm like, okay. I was like, all right, cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, go ahead and open it, take a look at everything. We'll go ahead and plug it up, test it, and get everything taken care of. And he's like, dude, it's just a 360. Can you not just give me the money for it? And I was like, no, I got to, I obviously have to test it, man. I have to test the system and whatnot. And he's like, dude, this is just bullshit. This is bullshit. He's like, I don't even remember what he said. It's been so long now, but he was just being an ass. He's being an ass and being snotty about it. He's like being personal and like saying stuff under his breath. And he's like, dude, well, just hurry the hell up. I ain't got time to sit here. You just hurry up. Give me the money for it. And, this dude's like a teenager. And it's one of those days. So I was like, you know what? And I like boxed his 360 slowly back up because I had it like half out. The box just half open. I just closed the box, and I tossed it like half a foot. Not very far. I tossed it, and it landed on the counter and hit the counter. And I was like, how about you take your 360 and get the hell out of my store? I was like, your attitude's shitty, and I'm not going to serve you. I'm not going to help you out. You just leave. I was like, that's it. We're done here. And he was like, so I can't trade it in? And I was like, no, you can't trade it in. And he was like, oh, well, I'm just going to go throw it in the dumpster then. I'm just going to throw it in the dumpster. And I'm like, that's fine. How does that affect me? Throw it wherever you like, you goober. And he just storms out and then goes around the building, I guess to throw it in the dumpster, which I doubt he actually did that. But, that's a short story, but it reminds me, why are you being mean to retail associates? Look, I get it. Sometimes, and I mean sometimes, retail associates can suck. Okay? They're going through a lot of shit. I dealt with it at Walmart recently with the ladder thing when the lady was mean. But sometimes, and I mean the majority of the time, you're mean to the retail associate for no reason. Because you think they're a robot. Why are you being mean to the guy? All right? The guy is the person that is in charge of giving you something for a price. Wouldn't you think that being as nice as possible might have a benefit eventually? You know how many times that somebody was like, oh, I'll just give you the 1-year warranty, free. Or something like that. Something along those lines. I mean, it doesn't happen often, but it does happen. But I can guarantee you, if there is a higher price for something and the retail associate's in control and you're being an asshole, they're either going to A, not give you the thing at all, or B, they're just going to make you pay as much as possible. Actually, something very, very important. If somebody would come into GameStop being an a-hole, immediately being an a-hole, and they were looking for something, I would say we're out of stock of it, no matter what it was. I used to have people coming in, when PS4s came out, they were obviously hot, and I'd have people coming in looking for that PS4, and I would have 4 in the back, and they'd come in and they would be immediately just an ass to me, from the start. And you know what I'd do? I'd be like, oh, man, I'm sorry, we ain't got any in stock. And I did that every day. And, that's definitely against policy. And should I have done that? I don't know. But, nah, dude, if you have an attitude with me right away, I'm just going to be like, nah, I'm not dealing with that. I guess I started getting a little old. I was like, I do not have any patience for these people anymore. Let's tell the next story, boys. This one sucks. This one I think about daily. All right? Pretty quick. Okay. So I was working at GameStop, of course, and it was one of those days. It was a very slow day. A little bit of a disclaimer. It's a very small store, right? It's like 30 feet by 20, maybe a little bit more or less, but it's very long store. So we only had one door, and it went to our stock room. We didn't have a public restroom, and I would always have people asking if they could use the restroom, and I'd be like, oh, we actually don't have a public one, but next door to us at Firehouse Subs does, because there was always a firehouse or something, So, I'm just working my shift, trying to do something to preoccupy my mind, Of course, or else all the thoughts of eating, bullets will come to the forefront, you know what I'm saying? Well, at any rate, this guy comes in. He's like, hey, man. And I'm like, hey, dude. And he's like, hey, can I use your restroom? And I'm like, we actually don't have a restroom. But next door, the firehouse does. So he's like, oh, all right. Completely normal interaction. All right. Well, dude walks out the front door. Maybe about a minute or two later, I'm doing a transaction for another customer, and this guy walks back in. And I notice him out of the corner of my eye walking to the back of the store, and I'm watching him, And then he just goes into the corner where the PS3s are, and there's like a gondola back there, and it's just sitting kind of in the way, and then he's kind of behind that, so I don't pay any attention to it. Well, he goes into that corner, and I'm just doing the transaction. Well, lo and behold, this dude squats down and just completely lets off the biggest deuce I have ever seen in the corner, and it was like a pile. In Jurassic Park, when they go see the Triceratops' poop, it looked exactly like that. It was huge, all right? And he runs out of the store, and my third key manager was like, dude, you got us. This dude just shit the... And I was like ran back to the store, and I looked at it, and it was just a pile. And I feel like it was steaming. That's what I see in my memory. It maybe was not, but it felt like it was a steaming pile. Well, immediately, I go to the front of the store because I'm panicking. My third key runs to the back and locks the door because he's like, I'm not dealing with it. And a lady comes in, and she runs to the back of my store, and I don't even know who this lady is. And she scoops up the poop with her hands, crudely, like cups her hands, and grabs the shit, and then runs out of the store. And apparently it was like his handler or his wife. I don't know. I don't know what that did. I don't know why she did that. I wouldn't have done that if I was her. I just let the shit lie where it was. But I go over there again, and there was a giant scoop taken out of it, but it was still there, It was still a lot, but she scooped it and ran. So I made one of my part-timers clean it up. What do you expect? All right, look, I'm sorry. Now, look, if he would have refused to clean it up, I would have done it, all right? I would have done it. But, they said yes when I asked them. So, I had to do it, baby. I had to do it. I'm sorry. Oh, my God, dude. She was probably embarrassed, man. She was probably embarrassed that her dude done went out here and laid a damn egg in my store. He laid an egg that wouldn't even bring a baby chick out of it. It wouldn't have been cute when it hatched. All right? It would have just turned white and crusty and shit. It's terrible, man. Oh, my God. I wish I could have rubbed his nose in it. Take his head and just rub his nose in it like a dog. Look what you did, you son. Look what you've done. You like this? You smell it? Do you know what this is? I'm going to tell you. So when I worked at GameStop, we had this thing that this is the best part. By the way, disclaimer, best part about working at GameStop was conference. That was probably why I worked there for many years after I hated it. What conference was is once per year we'd fly to Las Vegas or Anaheim or something. And we'd fly to Las Vegas, and I'd just drink, and it was an awesome time. And it was all paid for, right? And they give you a credit card that had a couple $100s on it. And we'd get free stuff from like Xbox and Sony. They do not do this anymore, by the way, at GameStop. They stopped in 2019. But I went to I think 10 of them. I went to 9 or 10 of them. And they were fun as hell. So, I would go to Vegas. Now, when I first would go to Vegas, the first time I ever went, maybe the first 2 times, dude, I was by the book. I go to every meeting at 8 a.m., every meeting, every single room. So we would have vendor rooms, like 20 a day. It would be like Sony, Xbox. You go to the Nintendo room. which was usually Kevin Pereira from, X-Play or something. And we go to the Mad Catz room and, the Sega room and all that stuff. Different vendors, basically. The WB room, different producing, the EA room, stuff like that. So we go to all these rooms. And I would go to every one of them. I'd show up to every single meeting. I was always, hanging out with all the people in my district because I thought I was supposed to. Well, about the third year, we were in Vegas. And I just didn't care anymore. And I'd wake up really hungover, and I would just not go to the meetings because the thing was, my boss would never go to them. Like, my district manager would not go to any of the meetings. So you best believe I wasn't going to them. And, of course, we had, like, one of the managers that would take roll, and I didn't even care. Dude, this was like 2013. I would go to no meetings, and I'd just go get food, and I would just hang out in Vegas for a week. Now, granted, that's probably shitty of me, but they didn't pay well anyway, and GameStop sucked, so F them. So, I was having a fun time, man. Now, granted, I would go to Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo usually because they were fun. But, dude, I went ham as hell. And I would just sleep all day and just go party. Every damn day. And I did that for about 6 years, and no one cared. No one cared. I would smash pissers with girls. That was later on in my life because I was married most of it. But later on, I just hang out with girls. It was a fun time, dude. It was awesome. But, man, dude, we did so many things at conference. One time, we were on an escalator, and the escalator collapsed. We were on an escalator, and it collapsed, and no one died, but it was terrifying. And then 2 years later, or this next year, we were in an elevator, and it got locked, and it just stopped for 2 hours. So me and Egg and 2 other people were just trapped on the damn elevator. And it's probably because Egg broke the weight restriction because he was 500 pounds by himself. I was stuck in a damn elevator with Egg for 2 whole hours or 3 hours. In a damn elevator. No smashing pictures. I didn't get to eat the bad food. Every morning they give you terrible food. And it was disgusting. Every morning. But they had macaroons and they were tasty. But dude, man, at the end of conference I didn't really care. But Jesus, there were some of them that were real wild. One time I went to a strip club and Egg paid a lady to give me a lap dance. And she was really soft for some reason. Dude, she was soft. She was like that double ply toilet paper that's like $30 per roll soft. She was so soft. She was like one of those throw blankets. Damn, son. And I wore cargo shorts. It was a bad idea. It's a bad idea. It's one time I was in my room and Egg was real drunk and he was peeing in the corner. He drank an entire bottle of whiskey or bourbon or something. And he's just peeing in the corner. And then he calls this, or one of the other girls calls this girl I call Fupa. She shows up really drunk, and Egg just starts smashing her, and they're both real big, so it's like a bunch of sea lions or sea whales slapping pissers. You just hear clapping and macaroni mixing. Oh, it was a nightmare. I was hiding under the covers and shit. And then at one point, Egg picked up old Fupa and threw her at my bed, and then she was just shooting like shit everywhere, like a fountain for some reason. So that was weird, so I had to change the sheets. And then I had to pick her up, and she's heavy, and carry her to the bathtub, because she was belligerent. Oh my God, it was an awful night, dude. I thought I was gonna die. You ever in a situation and you don't know how you're gonna survive it? You can't see past that moment. That was how that was.